strategy games. As people have been saying for years that the genre is fading away anyway, that younger gamers don't have the patience for long campaigns or careful planning. But here's the truth. The strategy genre is not only alive, it's having a full-blown renaissance right now. We've seen a wave of bold new titles alongside the triumphant return of legendary classics. And the results? Countless hours of tactical brilliance, city-building genius, and battles so epic, you'll forget to blink. So today we're diving into the best strategy games of recent years. Some are familiar names brought back to life. Others are fresh takes you've probably never even heard of. Either way, if you love games that challenge your mind as much as your reflexes, you're in for a treat. Before we jump in, if you enjoy discovering hidden gems and revisiting legendary titles, consider hitting that like button and subscribing. It really helps us keep bringing you more of the best games worth your time. Legends Reborn. Let's start with the giants, the games that carry names so legendary they practically define the strategy genre. Civilization VII. The Civ series has always been about one thing: taking a tribe from the dawn of time all the way into the stars, but this latest entry isn't just more the same. It introduces new government systems, diplomacy that actually feels dynamic, and an economy that forces you to make tough choices. Do you rule as a peacemaker, guiding your people toward cultural and scientific dominance? Or do you seize history by force, waging wars, and rewriting borders? Each campaign feels different, and thanks to sharper visuals and refined mechanics, it's never looked or felt better. And then there's Age of Empires 4. After the mixed reception of Age of Empires 3, fans were desperate for a return to form. And they got it. AoE 4 recaptures the spirit of Age of Empires 2, but with smarter AI, more dynamic battles, and campaigns that put you in the middle of world-defining moments. It doesn't reinvent the wheel, but sometimes you don't need to. You just need to perfect what already works. But as great as these names are, strategy gaming isn't just about nostalgia. Some older franchises have dared to reinvent themselves entirely, with very different results. Revivals and nostalgia hits. If you played strategy games back in the late 90s, you probably remember Commandos. Tight, stealth-driven missions behind enemy lines, punishing but rewarding gameplay. It was unforgettable. Now we've got Commandos Origins. This isn't just a remaster, it's a brand new entry, built from scratch on modern tech. The story takes us back to the formation of the Legendary Squad, dropping you into daring raids and sabotage missions during World War II. It's not perfect. Launch reviews were mixed, mostly because of bugs and optimization issues. But the gameplay, fans are calling it a worthy revival. And since it's in early access, the devs are patching it constantly. It already feels like the start of something that could grow into a new classic. Another blast from the past is Stronghold Definitive Edition. This is more than just a graphical upgrade. It's a full modernization of one of the greatest medieval siege games ever made. Improved balance, polished visuals, smarter AI. It all adds up to a reminder of why Stronghold became a household name in the first place. Building fortresses and defending them against massive assaults has never felt this good. But not every strategy hit needs to lean on history or old IP. Some titles go in completely unexpected directions. Unique twists and unusual settings. Take Foundation, for example. Most city builders force you into a rigid grid, but here, your city grows naturally. Roads form where people walk. Houses spring up organically, and every playthrough creates a settlement that feels alive and unique. It's a slow burn game cozy and atmospheric, but there's real depth once you start experimenting with different layouts and resource management. Then there's Empires of the Undergrowth, which flips the genre on its head. Forget kings and generals. Here, you command ants. Yes, ants. You dig tunnels, grow colonies, wage wars against predators, and evolve specialized castes for survival. It sounds bizarre, but the execution is brilliant. Watching your swarm overwhelm a rival colony never gets old. On the other side of the spectrum, we've got Tropico 6. If most city builders are about perfection, Tropico thrives on chaos and satire. You're not just building an island paradise, you're running it as a full-blown dictator. One moment, you're modernizing infrastructure. The next, you're rigging elections or playing world powers against each other. The game leans hard into humor, with a style and soundtrack that keep things light even as your island teeters on the brink of collapse. And hey, if you've made it this far into the list, you're clearly a true strategy fan. Do me a quick favor, tap that like button right now. It tells YouTube this is worth recommending to more gamers just like you. Not every strategy world is fun and lighthearted though. Some thrive on testing how much punishment you can take. Survival and hardship strategy. Few games capture that better than Frostpunk 2. The first Frostpunk was a masterpiece of survival, forcing you to make gut-wrenching choices just to keep your city alive in a frozen wasteland. The sequel expands the scope dramatically. You're not micromanaging 10 workers anymore. You're managing entire districts, balancing politics, and trying to keep order as society evolves. Some fans miss the emotional, small-scale drama of the first game, but there's no denying the ambition here. Frostpunk 2 dares to ask, how do you lead humanity when survival becomes civilization? And then there's Farthest Frontier. At first glance, it's just another medieval city builder. But then the winters hit. Food runs out, plagues spread, raiders burn your crops. Every decision matters because survival isn't a backdrop here. It's the core gameplay loop. Make it through the hardships and you'll watch a small band of settlers turn into a thriving city, fail, and it all collapses. It's brutal, it's tense, and it's incredibly rewarding. But not every strategy game focuses on survival. Some put you at the heart of history itself, rewriting the past with every move. Historical power and grand politics take Knights of the Crusades. This RTS lets you step into the role of a Grand Order, whether the Templars or your own creation. You can besiege fortresses, trade with neighbors, bribe enemies, or rewrite the Crusades entirely. It's part city builder, part military sim, part sandbox. And the freedom to choose your own path is its biggest strength. If you want even more depth, Crusader Kings 3 is the ultimate dynastic simulator. You don't just control a kingdom, and you control a family across generations. Marriages, alliances, betrayals, poisonings. It's less about managing cities and more about managing human ambition. Each playthrough feels like a completely new story, shaped by your personality and the choices you make. And then there's Anno 1800. Where most strategy games focus on warfare, Anno is all about economics and industrial progress. You start with a humble settlement and transform it into a sprawling metropolis powered by factories, trade routes, and technological breakthroughs. The attention to detail is breathtaking. Every dock, every smokestack, every bustling street feels alive. Of course, history isn't the only playground for strategy. Some games embrace pure fantasy and scale things up to unbelievable levels. Fantasy and large-scale chaos. Total War. Warhammer 3 is a perfect example. Even the tutorial here is a full campaign, and the battles, they look like scenes ripped from a fantasy epic. Thousands of warriors, monsters, and heroes clashing in massive sieges while magic tears the sky apart. It's still classic Total War. Move armies on the map, capture provinces, and expand your empire. But the spectacle is on another level. If you want strategy that feels like a movie, nothing else compares. Then there's Manor Lords, one of the most impressive indie projects ever. Built by a single developer, it blends detailed medieval city building with massive tactical battles that rival Total War itself. You can zoom all the way in to watch a single villager work in the fields, or pull back to command entire armies. The care and passion behind this project are obvious, and players already see it as a benchmark for what small teams can achieve. But the future of strategy gaming isn't just in indie miracles. Some games are still waiting in the wings, ready to make their mark. Future of the genre, enter Dustfront. Still unreleased, still in development by a lone creator, but already turning heads. It's a classic RTS at its core, but with a striking black and red visual style and a setting that feels like a war-torn fever dream. Procedural campaigns, random events, non-linear progression. Every run should feel different. The dev has said multiplayer isn't on the table yet, but if the game takes off, who knows? It's already on a lot of wish lists, and for good reason. And that's the beauty of the strategy genre right now. Like, it's not just big studios making polished sequels. Like, it's solo developers taking risks. It's revivals of old classics. It's experiments that bend the rules of what strategy can be. So, what's the takeaway? Strategy games aren't dying. They're evolving, diversifying, and delivering experiences that no other genre can match. Whether you're guiding ants through underground wars, rewriting the Crusades, or leading an empire to the stars, there's never been a better time to be a strategist. Which of these games would you sink hours into? Let us know in the comments. We read them all and love hearing what you're playing. And hey, if you enjoyed this breakdown and want more deep dives into the world of gaming, make sure to like this video and subscribe. That way you won't miss the next one. Games are incredible. But remember, real life is the most important campaign of all. Take care of your people out there, and I'll see you in the next one.